Hello everyone. And in today's episode, I'm joined with Ross, and Ross has autism. And today, it's gonna be a really fun chat because we're gonna be speaking about autism as well as linking our hobbies in as well. So, thanks Ross for coming on today.
Yeah, no problem. Anything to help out raise awareness for autism and talk about Doctor Who as well. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a win-win, isn't it?
It's a weird one, yeah. Considering the fact that you're like, how do the two match up? You're just like, okay. But
Yeah,
sure there's some links I'm sure there's some links for seeing.
yeah, definitely. Like, but especially like when I was younger, I didn't really think it was to do with the autism, how much you
Mhm.
can like Doctor Who. Um,
Yeah.
but then as you get older, you kind of notice that, don't you?
Yeah. You just say you just as you get older, you just see different you see things totally differently. Well, in my experience anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Like I don't know about you. I'll talk about Doctor Who with people. Well, not as much now, but when I was younger, I'll go on about like school. Even people didn't like the show, I'll just still talk about it.
I mean, for me it was kind of different because well, I didn't get into like classic Doctor Who, but I grew up with like Christopher Eccleston was my first Doctor, and I kind of got into him when I was like in college doing acting and performance. So, and it was just I did find one lecturer that was just we just bonded over Doctor Who, and then it was just like we had all these other interests on top of that. So I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of it's quite a funny subject when you bond over a TV show that's been running for so long, you know?
Yeah, years ago. It's been there years, isn't it? And like I suppose we picked the right time for it to. It's picked a good time for it to come back, and um, like it's good that it's still here. Like it hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
um,
No.
for the second time.
So many breaks and so many like plot twists. You're like, okay, what's this going to go now?
Yeah, they could easily
Yeah,
stop the show, though, couldn't they? Then like one doctor could easily have a problem, can't regenerate, and then there you go.
yeah.
Uh, um,
I hope that's not the case. To be fair,
no, I hope not.
I hope it goes on forever.
Yeah, it should do, shouldn't it? Because you could have like
Yeah,
100 doctors and like, especially with one of those it's a recent timeline saying there's like infinity, isn't it?
yeah,
Like loads, but yeah,
yeah.
it is yeah, it's a show that kind of links in with autism very well because autism is like I've seen quite a lot of people in like even in the Doctor Who community that do have autism as well. So it surprised me, but I think it's probably the same with a lot of fan bases as well.
Mm,
So,
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, well, obviously, in like what with having autism as well, like for me, I mean, kind of growing up, I was kind of left to my own devices to figure out like what was wrong with me. To be fair, obviously, I had my mom and dad, but that was, I mean, it was hard because like I couldn't really describe what I was feeling and all that stuff and like how to tell them and all that stuff. So it was kind of hard to. So it's basically up to me to figure out what I have or how my autism is, and then find mechanisms to cope with that. So I'm like, and for me, it was well, acting, drawing, doing art, and then just and then Doctor Who came along. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Acting links in really well, doesn't it? Because
Mm,
that's near enough what everyone does. Like if you're on TikTok and um, or like depending on what you like. I know my page is always filled with Doctor Who content all the time. uh, because it's almost like you're going on there to watch a show, aren't you? Um,
yeah,
even if you're not doing your own videos, like if you're just scrolling on there, you see other Doctor Who people acting it out.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, with the group that I'm part of on TikTok, the TARDIS fam, it's just like I've gotten to know like quite a lot of the members on there, like, and we have like it's a big community now, so it's just like, yeah, and there's a lot, like a specific group of people on there that like I have been in contact with like through Facebook and
Mm.
all that stuff. Like Katie Haynes was one of the people who got me into doing cosplay and like role playing and like creating my own characters and that, and which I'd never done before. And I'm just like, and so I had a chat with her. She says like, well, why don't you do like your own original character? And it was like, I'll give it a shot. And it's just like, when you do, let me know so I can duet your stuff and then we'll go from there. And it's just like, and ever since then, I've never stopped. So I've like created this whole, this entire range of characters in my head. I'm just going like, and I use them in like different areas. So yeah, and I'm just like, so it's, excuse me. And because like with me, because I'm I'm an artist by trade and all that stuff. So that's what I do. I just like, I draw, I create artwork and all that stuff. So having a good creative imagination for me is is a really good thing to have. And it lets you escape. And TikTok is another way to escape. And having that group of people around you, having like giving you support, giving you ideas, all that stuff. It's just like it makes it easier, just to think like, okay, these people accept me for who I am, autism as well. So it's like having a good network of people around you is, in my experience, has been very, very beneficial.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's great because like there's such a good community out there, and like especially like as you say, like you like your artwork, and it's good. Like you can base that around anything, and like you create your own characters, like you make your own ones up, and I think that's good. Like maybe Russell T Davies might take that on. uh, um, in the next series,
Yeah.
but yeah, it like it's good because um with Russell, I think on Instagram he near enough likes everyone's comments. So like I think because I've been on there and I wrote a comment to a post he put up. I think it was when he was nearly announced, or sneak peeks kind of wind people up, I suppose, just for guessing and everything. Um and yeah,
Yeah.
it seems like I know. Yeah, he seems like a really good person, especially growing up. I think he read Ninth Doctor's stories. I know he did the 10th Doctor, but it's nice to have someone like that back who can uh have some good back. We can have some good stories back, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Mm. And well, obviously with the community the TARDIS fam, the group that I'm with, we have we find we had brainstorming and all that stuff to create like role plays and all that stuff as well. And we're trying to branch out to like other members on TikTok as well. Like people like people have seen us, like they follow our stuff, and we kind of like we try and help them out. So it's essentially we're helping everyone, or we try and help everyone. So yeah, so it was good. Yeah.
It is good, isn't it? Like if you can help, like it's like you always say, like if you help someone, that's good. Like enough.
Mhm.
Like if it helps more
Yeah.
people, even better. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And as well, like linking back to like autism as well, it's like I try my best to help, and I've always been like that. And I don't know if that it's just been part of me, because I always try to do my best to like help people out, especially like if they're struggling with something or whatever. Even though if I like with autism, I struggle as well, because I have like daily struggles with like going out or whatever, like just like loud noises or whatever. It's just like it's kind of hard for me not to get stressed out about stuff. But then when you help someone and they come back a few months later and say like you really helped me or whatever, and it makes you feel good, like, all right, okay. And yeah, so having that, and so it doesn't have to be like autism based. It could just be like something in their lives, and you've been a good, you've been a listener, you've done this, done that. It does actually it has a knock on effect. Like they feel happy, then kind of you feel happy as well. The fact that you've helped someone. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and just what you said about the noise, like our noise, I can completely relate because I don't like loud noise either. And it
Mm,
doesn't, it kind of depends what it is, doesn't it? Um,
mm,
because like for a loud noise could be something maybe not as loud to someone else. Like eating, for example, if someone eating loud, that can be loud. And what people may not understand is it may not be a loud noise going to a football match and like that kind of noise. That could maybe
yeah,
be hard, but um, like in my experience, I'll be fine with that. I don't like close people close to me anyway, so um, I don't. I did like the social distancing rule when it was here, um, but um, but I'll keep away from people anyway, even before the pandemic.
yeah.
But yeah, like
Mm.
that noise, like scraping noise on the plate. It's like one of those black
Oh,
chalkboards for me. That's what it
oh,
sounds like.
yeah.
Mm.
It's just, I mean, for me, it's just like the noise of just like traffic or like just cars going past. Just it really aggravates me. And like even like construction work, people using like power drills and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, I need to get away from here. I just like get away from there as quickly as you can. So it's just like, yeah, that's one of the things that's one of the things I have to deal with. And yeah, it's just it's not fun because people like my friends and all that stuff, they don't see it as a big deal, but for me it's like it's such a big annoyance in that. So
Mm.
to get away from it, you just go, right, okay, I don't need to deal with that. And you just relax, or you try and relax and go, right, so what's next?
Yeah, like it is hard to tell your friends that who don't understand that, I suppose, because they may try to do it. Like if they know that it's something that irritates you, they might try to do it in a funny way, but
Mhm.
it might not be that funny to you.
No, no. And I think that's what's so good about like having a good network of people around you. Like they know what you deal with on a daily basis, and like they don't make fun of it, or they don't well they don't try and recreate it, or like your annoyances is well for me. I've been really lucky because I found that with the TARDIS group, and also where I am now in university. So I have a good, I've got a small group of friends and all that stuff that they understand and all that stuff, and they try and help me out as much as they can. We still have a laugh, obviously, but it's like
Mm.
you. There is sometimes it just like, well, especially for me, it's like you can't understand. Well, with me with autism, it's just like can't really pick up on social cues. Like it's just like if people are being like if they're uncomfortable or anything like that, you just like I can't pick up on that, and I had to be told off. Be less like you stop, you know, and then you have to take a step back and go like, I'm so sorry and blah blah blah. I'm so sorry, So and that's one of the challenges that I find, well, for me personally, is it's the hardest because understanding how a person is feeling and you don't have that ability, it's just like it's frustrating, and it's really hard. So I'm like, so being in a university environment and you're in your own art studio or whatever, and you're just doing your own work and whatever, being kind of isolated in a way. You're like it helps, but at the same time, you kind of do need people to come in and like check on you, make sure you're okay, and like if you're working away on your laptop or whatever, it's yeah, you just think it's for me personally, I like to like I don't know if it's the same with everyone, but when I'm working, I put headphones in, so I put music on, and that just helps me relax. That's one of my mechanisms as well. So I'm like, good,
Yeah.
I need this, and then I just work away like non-stop.
What kind of music do you like to listen to?
Well, it kind of depends because I've pretty much got a playlist for everything on my Spotify. So it could be like if it's heavy metal, or if it's cheesy pop, or if it's just stuff like that. But I like to like well, one of my favorite bands is Queen, and it's like, as soon as I put a Queen song on, it like relaxes me because that's what I was brought up on as a kid. So it's just like so it's essentially like taking myself back to my childhood and all that stuff, like the days when I used to like pretend to be like a rock star and all that stuff. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. 'Cause, yeah, like I'm the same. If I'm doing a bit of work, and it kind of helps me concentrate. If I listen to some music, I listen to a Doctor Who soundtrack even, um,
Mhm.
which they were good. Not the soundtrack's not as good now, I don't think. Um,
Mm.
Hopefully it's brought back to some good themes, good soundtracks, because
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think the one now is, you can understand like the 13th Doctor's theme. Um,
Mhm.
but it's an okay, but it's nothing like meaningful, I don't think. Like
Mm.
to the Doctor or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah. And the thing is like I have watched like with the 13th Doctor's theme as well. It's just like it's not as it's not as iconic as say like the ones you used to get like with the Ninth Doctor and the 10th Doctor and that. And even like soundtracks for well for me personally, it's just like the new theme tune for the new Batman film is so incredible. And I've watched the 89 version of it, and I've that was like my theme. And I'm just like, but as soon as I watched the new movie, I instantly went onto the soundtrack just to listen to the theme itself, and I'm just like, oh my god, that's iconic because it's taken inspiration from the old one,
Hmm.
but adding a new twist onto it. You're just like, even though it's like instrumental, there's no like singing or in that for it. It's just I can't describe it. You know, it's just like, and the 13th Doc, the new well, the theme song for the Doctor Who, like now, it's like you could have done a little bit, you could have like amped up a little bit, you know, or just like mellowed it out. But I'm just like,
Hmm.
it's hard to describe, you know, like what can you do with a theme song that's so iconic and make it modern, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah.
There's not much.
Mm,
There's not like there's not much tunes really, is there? If you think
mm,
about it, because with the
mm,
other Doctors, you have the theme, and then you have other like ones, like the 11th Doctor had multiple. So
mhm.
did the 10th Doctor. Like
Yeah.
different episodes have a different. Some were repeated, and some which was good that they brought them back. Um,
Mhm.
but I don't hear many with the 13th Doctor, and it's very disappointing. It's not Jodie's fault at all. It's
Mm. No.
that stuff all should be resolved before, or even ongoing as she's the Doctor, because
Yeah.
like it should be that way, and it is a bit disappointing. The storyline's a bit disappointing. Um, um, Episodes are a bit disappointing. Um, but all in all, she's a good actor. It just hasn't been. It's all
Yeah.
that change, isn't it? Changing it,
Yeah.
um, changing like the composer, like no Murray Gold anymore, which he was
Mm.
there for so long. Um, but they kind of wanted to change everything, didn't they? They want to change the gender.
Yeah.
They want to change the way they do things, and like
Yeah.
I don't mind it being a girl though. I think we needed that change. I think they're just
Yeah.
saying that it doesn't have to be a man all the time.
Yeah. And the thing is like with Jodie, it's just like she's a brilliant actress. I do like her. And as the Doctor, it's like she's she's funny, you know, like but I think she's trying to be too funny, but not as like I think like she's taken quite a lot of inspiration from um maybe the 11th Doctor, but he's got like she's got the kind of quirky nature. But I think she's trying to like bring the 10th Doctor into the kind of serious side, but it doesn't really work. She does have the serious moments, don't get me wrong. There's some serious moments in there, but it's kind of thought with is she trying to be funny here, or can you take her seriously? And it's like she does a brilliant job. It's just that the development of the character for her, I think, has been kind of slow. It's been a very slow progression to what she is like now. Like, okay, and it's not until like, and I talked to a few people about this. It seems like now she's actually hitting her stride with the Doctor, and she's more comfortable. But it's like it's the nearly the end of her run. You're just like kind of late now, you know? I'm like
Yeah.
so
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just hard because part of me wishes that she could stay on with like the new with the for Russell T Davis and all that stuff, like coming back and all that stuff. Maybe like they could flesh her out a lot more, let her be, or maybe like bring something new to the Doctor. But I'm just now, it's just like the fact that she's leaving and all that stuff. It's like it's kind of bittersweet in a way. you know?
Yeah. It is. It's the curse of the Doctor, isn't it? Because 3 seasons are now.
Yeah, yeah. The
That.
curse of the Doctor strikes again.
Yep. Like,
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if the 14th Doctor gets to beyond that 3 seasons mark.
Oh goodness.
For,
Uh,
in the space of 5 years, I think it is, isn't it?
yeah, very much. Yeah,
Yeah, in the space of 5 years, 3 seasons. Um,
yeah.
like, not as many episodes though. Jodie hasn't. It's a shame. Like the others had quite a good run of episodes. Um,
Hmm.
even though they did those 3 seasons, David Tennant did quite a lot in his fourth season as well. Um,
Yeah.
like that fourth season was a couple. Well, I think it was a maximum of 2 years, I believe. Um,
Mhm.
like and yeah, and the difference is that he we had that two parts of his last episode, and I think she's going to be leaving in October, isn't she? So
Yeah.
it's a bit different. Like, are we going to get a Christmassy New Year's
Hmm.
special or something, or is that just going to be left to the 60th next year?
Yeah. I just there's so many like unanswered questions and all that stuff. So, but I think in this case you kind of just have to like see what happens. You know, like
Hmm.
with the new episode coming out pretty soon. I think I can't remember the exact day when it comes out, but that should be good. I've seen the trailer for it, and I'm like, yeah, kind of. That looks amazing. I want to watch that next. So I'm like, sit down, watch, and go. Right, good.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
it. And to everyone listening, this episode should be out after the new episode. So when the next time we speak, Ross, and when this episode is officially out, it will be yeah, only a couple of days
yeah,
afterwards. But yeah,
mm,
I know what you mean. It does actually look pretty good, to be fair. Like the episode,
mm,
it kind of reminds
yeah,
me a bit like Assassin's Creed style, like
yeah,
uh, Pirates of the Caribbean, and yeah,
yeah. Very, very Black Flag.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually bought one. I bought a Black Flag. Um, I bought one. Like I bought all pirate stuff because I'm in aid for like Easter and everything. I want to do
Mm,
some Easter videos. I'll probably do like the 10th Doctor one because I believe the 10th Doctor episode is the last Easter one we had, like actual
yeah,
Easter episode. So
mm,
I
yeah,
could mix that in with piratey stuff, go to the beach,
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
um, like I do that sometimes. Like I like to go into the scenes when you do the videos and makes them more
yeah.
worthwhile, I
Mm.
suppose.
Yeah, and like I have like obviously I go on like I've there's a lot of people I follow on TikTok and you're one of them, and I just watch your videos and go like, oh my god. And there was one that you did not that long ago, and you were like, I think it was like the 10th Doctor. Remember when he was a cowboy, and I'm like, you're dancing
Oh
around.
yeah,
I'm going like. I'm like, I have that video saved because I'm going to duet it at one point. But that's
yeah.
like, I might do it for Gala Day and all that stuff, which is coming up soon. I'm just like this, like I don't remember doing that when I was when I was at incarnation.
Yeah, yeah. I look forward to seeing that, Ross, because yeah, I actually thought of that because um, there was one episode that's wearing a cowboy hat, and I got a hat, and then I thought let's do a little song that relates to that, and yeah, um, I do I like doing that kind of stuff, and like with TikTok Day, I don't think I've ever really taken part in it, but
Mm.
I might this year, because I have like over 400 in my draft, so I might as well.
Yeah,
Probably have
because
more.
that's I mean Gala Day is just basically on TikTok. It's just like a day for like when the Whovians take over TikTok. Pretty much, it's just like there's lots of Doctor Who content and people interacting and all that stuff. So it's a really nice thing. And um, all the TARDIS group, all the TARDIS fan group members will all be doing like Doctor Who specific content and all that stuff for it, myself included, because I've just last night just went on like a filming spree and just like had my laptop and my iPad set up and just like right
Mm.
record. I'm like I've got still got to edit stuff and it's like yeah just have to have stuff ready for Galley Day. So I'm like not filming on like a few weeks before, like a few days before, and go like, okay, right, it's done. That's it. I'm not filming anymore.
How many do what I'm gonna do? How many people do people normally upload? Like is there like a limit, or like is it just going with the flow?
I don't think there is a limit, but I think it kind of depends on what you want to upload. So you can upload like maybe like 6 videos in one day or whatever, I think. Or if you have just Doctor Who content, just like over the span of a few days, I think it's like 2 days all in all. So it's like you can just like all the Doctor Who content you have like on your draft, just like upload it, and then just that's it. So like just let it be and like people direct it or whatever, and like just let the chips fall where they may, because that's literally all it is. And
Mm.
yeah, so and you just seeing people's creativity and all that stuff, especially with well with me and like there's a TikToker that I follow, Rai, who plays the Ninth Doctor.
Mm.
Absolutely, she's absolutely fantastic as the Ninth Doctor. So, and I do a lot of content with her, and we do like Whovian band videos and that stuff. So it's like just like pick a just pick a recording of music. We just like have our guitars and our instruments ready, and we just like pretend to be playing it, you know. So it's like, and we like just like people duet it or whatever, and like let get a chain going or whatever, and then it's like, yeah. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. I think in the past, I think like actually last year had her on the podcast. We spoke about autism and Doctor Who as well. So yeah,
Mm,
she just quite like she loves the Ninth Doctor, and I think we all should
yeah.
because he was kind of one who started it really. So kind of
Yeah.
cool. So even though he did the season, but like Christopher Eccleston says, not everyone like appreciates that he actually did that season. So um it was good that he done it, because even though he was one, it was good, a very good season. All in all.
Mhm. Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it did with Christopher Eccleston's foundation, or well season. It laid the foundation for when David Tennant came in. It's like, so he had something to work with, and then David Tennant just like blew it up, and he just like made it his own. And then Matt Smith came in, and he has to follow that. I'm just like, oh boy, that's going to be tough to do, but he did really well. So I like Matt Smith. He's one of my favorites, but David Tennant will always be like the Doctor, like I personally relate to. So yeah.
Mm. So would you say Matt Smith's your favourite out of the Doctors?
No, if I was to pick a favorite, it would probably be the 10th Doctor or maybe Peter Capaldi.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think them two were like they love Doctor Who themselves. Like that they grew up
Hmm.
watching it. And everything. Like I think, yeah, like Matt Smith, I think did as well. Like I think in like a special, Matt Smith and Joey Whittaker could be lovely together because they're similar in ways, like the Doctors.
Yeah.
Um, and like between if Chris Eccleston did want to do it with someone else, but I don't think he would. Him and Peter
Mm.
Capaldi, because they both are very strict in ways, and aren't they?
Yeah. And I mean, I think that's what it was with like when Pierre Capaldi took over the role as the Doctor. It was just like, it was funny because he was just like playing the quintessence, like he was always playing like obviously loved the fact that he was Scottish and all that stuff, and he was just like he was playing that off to the best of his ability, and I'm like, I love this, you know. And I'm like, I absolutely love it, and it made for such an entertaining season, even though he's trying to be serious. The fact is, there was comic or the comedic efforts underneath it. I'm just like, wow, this guy's brilliant.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Like like Peter Capaldi, he not my favourite, but he grew on me after his first
Mm,
season. I don't think his first
yeah.
season was that good,
Mm,
really. But he got better as he left. One
yeah.
Not because he was leaving and all, just his acting was getting better as
Yeah.
it went along. Like he sounded different as well.
Mm,
um,
yeah.
from his start. But but
Yeah.
but yeah. like, do you like? I did like all the doctors. I think have said that their favorite episode of being a doctor is the first. Um,
Mhm.
but out of every Doctor's first episode, the ones that are my favorite would be the 11th hour, um,
Mhm.
the Christmas invasion, because I feel like that's one of the best Christmas episodes.
Yeah.
And Rose, even though that
Mhm.
wasn't like a special or anything, I think it was in the middle of the year, but that I like that one because it kind of
Yeah.
started things off, and um, it was like more about the companion at the start, wasn't it, rather than the doctor? So
Mhm.
that was quite good.
Yeah. And what and like going like talking about the companions as well, like there is some of them that just like I wouldn't say like they kind of steal the show in a way, because like Rose kind of was like the first to do it, but then you get Donna, and she was just fantastic, and then uh, Amy, who took over, and then Amy was absolutely fantastic. Every time like Amy and Rory were on the screen, I was always like transfixed on them. Didn't matter what the doctor was doing. It was just those two together. They're just like
Mm.
they were just like the comedy element, like if they're in a serious situation, and then it's just like you see Amy and Rory just like talking to each other. It's like we're in the middle of a crisis here. No, you're in the middle of a crisis. We're just sitting back enjoying the show.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's good. Like, it's good that like you have these kind of companions, but I think from Clara, um,
Mm.
the companions haven't been good since her, in my opinion. Like Bill didn't have enough
Mm.
time. Like, you can't even comment on Bill because she
No,
didn't have enough time.
no.
It's sad because she was only in a few episodes, I think, and then she gets
Yeah,
turned into a
yeah,
Cyberman.
yeah. And then Nardole as well. I'm just like, I think they could have done more with him as well, but it's like it was pretty short. And then you have Graham, Yaz, and Ryan. And personally, it was just like, with the fact that Yaz stayed on, like with the doctor and that, I was like, okay, that's good. But Graham and Ryan left, and I thought, oh, I was actually quite upset when when Ryan and Graham left. I'm just like, oh,
Hmm.
just like because I felt they could have done a lot more. And it's well, and Yaz is a good companion now. Is it? They've got Dan now involved in it as well. I think
Yeah,
Dan would be. I think Dan's like kind of came into it like pretty late as well. But I think he's got a lot of stuff. He's got a lot of potential as well.
yeah. In 2 episodes
Mm.
to go.
Yeah, yeah. You can do a lot in 2 episodes.
Yeah. Well, they'll be longer
Yeah,
ones, won't they? So they're
yeah,
not going to be the normally 45 minutes episodes, are they? They'll be. I I would like the last episode to be longer than an hour though. Um,
yeah.
it'd be nice because like it's not just a doctor leaving, isn't it? It's different because
Mm.
it's the anniversary of the BBC. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
so it's almost like a 60th anniversary, but we're not there yet. Meaning it's like an anniversary of more it's more because it's the I think the oldest show on the BBC, isn't it? I think Doctor Who might be. Um,
Yeah,
and yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. Like you might have thought the Master's gonna be there, but we
yeah,
just don't know. Like you would think that
yeah.
it's gonna be a similar ending to how David Tennant did it. Um, like you don't know what happened to the Master really from his last appearance because he got exploded, didn't he? Um,
Yeah, yeah. It's like I mean, I'm not gonna lie, when the Flux episodes came on, I thought like one of the villains was the Master's like, I thought one of them was the Master, like it was just like his skeletal form, but I was like, they were just these new characters, the Ravagers. I'm just like, okay, but I was like, but what happened to the Master? So you're kind of like left up in the air. You're just like, well, what happened to the Master? And then Tech Tayun came into it, and you're just like, so this is the person who found the doctor, and then she gets killed off. Like, okay.
like
So, uh,
in a way, he has to come back because everyone's gonna
mm,
wonder where he's gone. Because
yeah,
because you can't just go into the next series 14, and bring the Master back. It's not gonna be him, is it? It's gonna be a different person.
yeah,
because
Yeah.
that's what they do. You've never seen a master go into another incarnation of the Doctor, have you? As of
Mm,
yet, except from John Sim, but that's a bit different because he came back for like the end of Peter Capaldi's run,
yeah.
which was nicely done.
Yeah.
um,
it was really nicely done. I liked it.
yeah, I did get kind of goosebumps when he was saying the Prime Minister line. Um, uh,
Oh, I think everyone did, to be fair, because
yeah,
it's just that iconic line. You're just like, oh god, when like just a time jump, you're just like, oh, chills.
yeah, yeah. Like he does really well though, because that last episode, everyone didn't know it was him because he had the mask on and everything. Um,
Yeah.
so and his voice change was very good. Like
Mm,
very well done. Like it's good that he came back, and for me, he's always like him and the current master are actually probably the best, I'd say. Um,
yeah.
um, I didn't really understand Missy at first, but then she kind of grew on me. But
Yeah.
she she's not in the line of, even though she was very good, but I didn't really
Mm,
like it become Missy. I'd rather just keep it as the master.
yeah. I just I mean, Missy did grow on me. I'm like, I wasn't too sure at first, but then it was, and, and I was just like I said, she did grow on me, and it's just like, but she had so much. She had that sense about her. It was like she was a villain, but she had that something that a villain has to have, like that makes them menacing. It's like for me, the only person I felt with that is Bellatrix Strange from Harry Potter. I'm like, whenever I see her, I'm like, oh, I hate you. I really hate you. And I was just, it's the same with Missy, but I'm like, I love her, but I hate her at the same time. It's just like, it's a complex thing. You're just like, oh, but I think that's a good sign. Then if a villain can do that, like they make you feel for them, but then you feel like you hate them as well, then they've done a really good job. Well, I feel personally.
Do you think, like, as we go on to series 14 of Doctor Who, do you think that's a time that's a new start? That's a time
Mhm.
to stop bringing back companions, stop bringing back, um, unless it's a special or something.
Yeah.
Like, did you think
Yeah.
that's a reason to stop bringing back companions and make new ones, like new
Uh,
people?
yeah, I think the thing is, yeah, I think when it comes to a new season, it's like, if only for specials as well, they should have a whole range of, well, one or two companions and then the new doctor, and then just explore their relationship. Like, and then when it comes to the specials, like, then in the specials, bring back companions or bring back past versions of the doctor or whatever. So, and yeah, but some, if they're mentioned, if certain companions are mentioned, like throughout the story, it's good because it's just like a little nod back to um just how like what's happened in the past. Like if one of them brought up, say, well, I meant that, like if one of the companions said, oh, I went out with this girl called Donna, like Donna Noble, and you're like, oh, like wait, what? You went out with who? And it's like, so it's like, yes, or if one of the companions ends up being a friend of Rose Taylor, but that's like, oh yeah, just Rose left with this strange guy. We never saw her again. Like, awkward, awkward.
um,
Yeah.
do you think as well, like because we're on Disney Plus now, we get all these little series coming from Marvel, from Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Do you think that'll be a good? I think it's probably think about by Russell, because like we're bringing these kind of shows back. But like it'd be. Did you think it'd be good like to bring like a mini series from maybe out former companions, or just like another storyline of Doctor Who that's just a mini series, like a series thing like they do on Disney?
Hmm. Yeah, I think it would be. I think it'd be a good thing because I would love to see how, like, between the time that we saw her, I would love to see like a mini series about like maybe like River Song or maybe Amy and Rory, like what they did or something like that when they weren't with the Doctor, or maybe Rose might work because she's in a I don't know, like a different dimension or whatever, and she has a
Yeah.
Doctor. She has she has a TARDIS, or he's apparently grown one. So it's like it would be different. It would be good to see. So like a little mini series, but yeah, it would be good to see. Or maybe Clara, like what happened to her. So yeah, I think that would be a pretty good idea to have, especially on like Disney Plus, or if the BBC has their own like subscription or whatever, like the on-demand service or whatever. I'm like, I don't know personally, but
Hmm.
yeah, I think that's a good thing to have, especially like if it's characters like you do want to see, or you do want to see, or you want to go back with, you know.
Yeah, yeah, because like Torchwood was good, but it wasn't like it's a shame that I didn't continue doing it. But near enough, most of them died, didn't they? all the there's lots of them did, but yeah, they could even still call it Torchwood, just not have Captain Jack in it. I know Captain Jack was the main star of the show, but
Mm,
it'd be nice to see like you had like Martha could be in it like as the main person, or because she hasn't really aged that much, really. It doesn't seem like it, like from
mm,
seeing her in
yeah,
different things. Like you got even like Graham and Ryan who got their passport things or psychic papers, and that they've got them now. So
yeah.
it's something that it could be think about, and like I think
Hmm.
it's needed after like the Sarah Jane Ventures was really good, and Tortured we haven't, and a show called Class that didn't really go down too well. um,
Yeah,
I know Peter Capaldi was in it, but wasn't that great. But since then we haven't really had much of side
no,
shows, which except from Big Finish, but not everyone watches Big Finish, and it's more better for to watch it like a program on telly. So yeah,
yeah,
like you say, River Song. It'd be lovely if there was a River Song one, because I think her story is done in Doctor Who now.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
it would be weird if they brought it back, because it would kind of mess up the whole thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
It, it would, yeah, but and with with Rory and Amy, I know that
hmm,
they got stuck in just a different just a time, and you're just like they died, obviously, and it's just like it was sad, but it was something along those lines. I mean, it would probably work. It could like if they had adventures there or whatever, trying to save like from different like invasions or whatever, it'd be pretty cool to see. But you never know. Like people could probably, I know somebody out there could literally say like, but River Song's journey isn't done. Like literally, they could continue it on, or like from a beginning part or whatever. I'm just like, somebody will do something with River. I know they will.
she always comes back.
She always does. Yeah.
I think she was on on the telly on like BBC One or something, and she was asked if she wants to come back, and she said she was always happy to come back if anyone
Hmm.
asks her. It's like the same with Donna. She had the same like thing, and
Hmm.
I think her response is that people got the money, I've got the time. um, uh, so like that would be nice. Like there's all these rumors all the time, isn't there? Who's going to be the Doctor? Who's going to be companions? Like I think by now we with the last time when Jodie was announced, it was early on. It was before like the time now. Like I don't know, at the moment it's April, so we knew before then.
Hmm.
But I feel like it's right
Yeah.
they're not saying it, who it is yet.
Yeah.
Um, I'll be surprised if it's not after. We don't find that before the special. Um,
Hmm.
but although I would love it not to know, so a bit surprised, isn't it? Like when you actually watch it, if she
Yeah.
regenerates, or she may not. Like they might leave it on a cliffhanger for the number 14th Doctor to
Yeah.
come on his episode. That would actually work out really well, wouldn't it? But
Yeah.
for
Exactly. Yeah.
say for the 60th anniversary, they leave it on a cliffhanger. She's about to regenerate, and she
Hmm.
doesn't, and then the 60th, and then you kind of wonder who the Doctor is the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. Just that you just want to know, you're just like, who is it? And it's not until like they did like the anniversary, it's like the 13th Doctor comes back and then just regenerates, and it's just like, huh? And it's just like you don't know. It's just like, oh my god. But I think if you know who it is, I think if you know who it is, it's like you're like, I think if you know who it is like ahead of time, you kind of judge them based on like the stuff that they've done so far, like their
Yeah,
previous work. and you go like, are they a good fit for the Doctor? So I think that's probably why maybe they're not telling us. Just
Yeah.
like I maybe, yeah. So I don't know because I'm not in the BBC. I'm just like I have no idea.
Yeah, you're probably right because they judge everyone.
Yeah,
So life is, isn't it?
yeah.
Like on every program, like, but yeah, it would be nice for it to be done that way, but
Hmm.
like they told us that she's leaving, so
Hmm.
yeah, because I think she's pregnant agency, so it kind of makes
Yeah,
sense why she's going, but
yeah,
maybe if she wasn't pregnant, maybe she would stay on. Who knows?
yeah. I don't know to be honest. I don't know, but it would. It's a shame because I think it is a shame because she could have done it. I think she could have done a lot more as the Doctor. It's just sad that the fact that she's leaving like now. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's good, isn't it? Like it's a show that we all love, like, and always linking it, like it's good. Like when people say to me, because with autism, people get, I think, like more now learning about that, people get like fixated on certain things, and uh, for us, it's Doctor Who. For someone else, it might be Star Wars. For someone else, it might not even be a TV show. It might be like football. I just play football all the time. So it's good when you
Yeah,
find that program because it's kind of your comfort show in ways, isn't it?
yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and but I think with autism as well, it's just like you. I don't feel personally in my experience I've been fixated on one thing. Doctor Who definitely did take a well, when it first came on, when I first watched it, it really did it took a hook of me, and it was just like it didn't let go for such a long time. And then after David Tennant left, I was like, I wasn't really interested in it. But and then it wasn't until later on when it was on Netflix as well that I watched Matt Smith like run through it, and I was like, I should have watched this when David Tennant left, because I think this would have been absolutely fantastic if I'd watched it if I was like younger, almost like I probably would have enjoyed it a lot more. So now it's now it's just like yeah, well, personally with me, it's like because I'm getting older and all that stuff. I'm watching things that like going back to stuff that I used to watch as a kid and be like looking at it with an adult set of eyes. You're just going, it's like
Yeah.
okay, right, okay.
Yeah, like I agree what you're saying that you don't get fixated on one thing, but I think in time you kind of get fixated on that one thing, and then you can move on to another thing. But always going back the the same.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's kind of Doctor Who and football.
Mhm.
So I kind of between the both. So Doctor Who's not on, football's always going to be on. So I'm winning both ways. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it is difficult. Like to talk about well to talk about to different people who don't understand about your autism because you don't know how they're going to react, and like in some experiences it's hard to explain autism, isn't it, to someone that
Mhm.
doesn't know it.
Yeah. And with me is like there's so many like I think that's probably why I like because of the TARDIS group that the TARDIS fan group that I'm part of. We have like a um uh, we do have a like a group and all that stuff, and we do talk. And there's lots of people with autism on that group that I've spoken to. There's some one girl, Amy. She's a teacher in the USA, and she's autistic. And it's like talking to her about stuff, and Rye obviously as well. I speak to her, and we talk about designing posters and artwork, and like if she's feeling down about like she's as an artist as well, you kind of like compare yourself to other people and all that stuff. So you create a piece of work, someone else creates a piece of work, and you go like, "Oh, yours is so much better than mine." It's just like it's an artist thing, but it's also a personal thing that people do. And I have to like tell Rai like, it's not a question of who like mine's is better or yours is better or whatever. It's just personal style. And she's like, so don't compare yourself because as soon as you do that, then you feel bad about the work you create. It's like it's not going to be as good as like Ross's is going to be or Tom's is going to be. It's like it's so hard not to get that out of that frame of mind. And for me, as an artist, I kind of have to bring myself back and be like, don't compare it to anyone else's work. Like, this is your work. It holds its weight, you know? So it's like, yeah. And like, actually, like, taking the time to tell people, like, if you've got an idea, or if you've got an idea for a poster, if you've got an idea for a story, just go with it. It's like, the only person judging it is you, basically. Like, if it's going to be better than something else someone else could write, and you're just like, it's not a good frame of mind to have. It's just like, you create a story, you create a poster because it's something that you're interested in and you want to do it. So, and with me, it's like, I can create a poster which I think looks absolutely terrible, but someone else thinks it looks absolutely incredible. You know, I'm just like, really? I don't see it. So, and it's kind of it's a vicious cycle when you think, yeah, I've created a poster, I've posted it, and you just get all this stuff, and you're just like, ugh. And then you feel bad about it. You just go, and then you just think, well, I can do better next time, you know. So it's like, and it does push you. It does push you to do something different. But at the same time, you always have this sense of like, is it good enough? You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
I know what you mean, because like you kind of like, I've done work before, and like you think, is it good enough? Should I do it again? If there's anyone going to think any different of me because I've done it rubbish. So like
Mm.
it is difficult, isn't it? Like, just to show people your work, and as long, like, as you say, like as long as you're happy with it, it's that's good at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, and the thing is like, what if I had anything to say to people with autism out there? It's just like, you have, it's a part of you that's unique, and there's no one in the world who has this, like, who had, well, people have autism, but it manifests in different ways. Like, and the way your autism manifests in yourself or anyone else, it's always going to be unique to you. It's not like you can't compare it to someone else's. So it's like, because you might be higher on the spectrum, you might be lower on the spectrum. So it's like, but it's something that's unique to you, and just embrace it. It's a it's a challenge, yes, but it's a good thing to have. It's a brilliant thing to have. It's a gift in a way. So it's just like, if you can
Yeah,
see it as a gift, then it's absolutely, you'll feel better. Trust me.
that's it, Ross. That's it. Because yeah, I completely agree. Like, if people see it that way, it's much easier. But it's always
Mm.
hard to start with, and then as life goes on, I think you learn to accept it a bit more and talk
Mm.
about it. But yeah, I
Yeah,
completely agree.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But Ross, I think we've had a really good chat today. Like, because
Okay.
we talk about autism, we speak about Doctor Who, which we if people didn't listening, no, we both like Doctor Who.
Yeah.
um,
Go and watch it, and
yeah,
you'll believe me, it's absolutely fantastic.
yeah. Go and watch it. But would you suggest people skip 9, Ross?
Skip the Ninth Doctor?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No, no.
You need the Ninth Doctor. And Rye, if you're listening to this podcast, that is directed at you. You're the best Ninth Doctor on TikTok, hands down.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I completely agree. Like, I don't understand if, well, people do skip it though, but just because of one season. But in that one season,
Yeah,
so much is going on, and like, you kind of don't understand if you skip 9, because Rose is the companion, isn't she? And then
yeah,
and then you think, if you watch it straight from 10, you think, who's Rose? Like, well,
yeah,
I don't know her story.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to go back. You have to go back a season to watch like what happened to her and how she got involved in the Doctor's life. It's just like, oh my god! Don't. That's the word of advice. Do not skip the Ninth Doctor, because you will miss a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you will. But
Yeah.
yeah, well, thank you, Ross, because it's been really nice speaking about autism and Doctor Who with you, and I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and it's always good to talk about Doctor Who, you know. So so I've had fun,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, thanks, Ross. It's been great.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah.